This is your daily market review for Monday, May 1st, 2023. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at HP Realty, aka The Trading Agent, and this is your daily market review for Monday, May 1st, 2023. Time is a-flying. Hopefully people are paying attention to what's going on. The breadth in the market is weakening dramatically. Interest rates are moving pretty volatilely. And the dollar is starting to move. It feels like a monster bull trap is forming. But does that mean it has to resolve today, next week, next hour, whatever? You put the time frame on it. I don't know. That is the question, the $1 million question. So let's keep in mind everything that's going on the rest of the week. Remember, we have the FOMC on Wednesday, right? Then we have jobs numbers on Friday. We've got Apple earnings on Thursday. You've got a lot of stuff. So do not be surprised to see the bullets fly, the emotions all over the place, the market just playing games with people. So on that note, stay grounded, know your levels, define your risk, be smart, because there's some weird traps setting up in my opinion. So on that note, if you want to join the Discord room, link in the description below. Let's keep it going. If you're following, please check on Twitter, post in relevant comments and charts, things that I think are important. That's not what you want to see. Here we are trading them, and there it went, and there it went, and we're back. And so, yeah, a lot of stuff going on. Please, if you're following and watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We'll probably do a live chat tomorrow, do a few of them a week, just to kind of get people in the, pay attention to what I'm paying attention to. A lot of people have one screen, can only see so many things. Trading with 8 screens, watching a lot of different things all at once, trying to keep an eye on the ball, finger on the pulse, whatever you want to call it. So if you're new to trading, again, the Back to Basics series, or check out thetradingagent.com. Have all the content here for you, from more beginner stuff to more advanced levels of trading. Again, one of the things I would put in there is, jobs numbers. What are they? Usually a doji day. What first and last 3 business days of the month? Well, guess what? Window dressing, and then you have potential markup. I mean, I think the market is trying to hold up, and the breadth is absolutely garbage, but new money's coming in, and where's it going? It's been plowing into some of these tech names, which is kind of crazy. But again, let's get into the charts, and we'll get into it. Or just check the evidence as it plays out, right? Because that's what you got to be, evidence-based. Rate hike, it's happening. Just, again, there's nothing really to say. Save this webpage for market FOMC probabilities, target rates. That's good to go right here. That's basically the lock. Next, on Wednesday, we will get a 25 minimum rate increase. Bitcoin, some people are talking about it. I'm like, whoa, watch this, because we're in this range. If we fail in this range failing says a lot, y'all. I'm just telling you right now. You want to see us hold up if you're a bull. Because right now, you could argue this is like a wonky left-right shoulder, head and shoulders top. I know my box is here, but I'd really say you need to break the upper 27,000 range. Oil, not really bouncing that strong. I'm a little surprised today. I would think it would have been a little more bouncy, considering it's sold off pretty hard. I mean, you go from 3 down to 73. All right, we'll see. Natural gas, yeah, it's just chopping. Let's just move along. Again, I personally think natural gas is stuck in the spin cycle for a while. At some point, it'll have value. The dollar. What did it do today? Rising volume over the 20-day. Remember the last couple of weeks, everyone said the dollar's dead, BRICS are taking over, yada, yada, yada. I'm telling you right now, the Feds are they care more about the dollar than the economy right now, or the stock market. I'm telling you right now, they need to create the dollar dominance that they've always had to try to counteract the BRICS and Russia and all this junk. And again, it's all about perception, right? It's all about keeping and maintaining credibility. We've talked about this. The dollar, in my opinion, just like we said last year when the dollar went nuts, we talked about it peaking up here. Remember that trap we talked about? Well, in my mind, I still think the dollar goes much higher before it peaks. A lot of people think the peak is in the dollar. I don't think it is. I could be wrong. TLT. Either way, you define your risk, you know your levels. We are taking out the range lows with volume. That is not bullish. I'm sorry for the market, because again, I think the market wants to see lower rates, but also doesn't want to see speeding rates either up or down. These candles scare the market. When bonds get sold this hard, something's wrong. If they get bought too hard, something's wrong. Just remember that. Like, volatility in the bond market is the problem, not necessarily the bond market and the movements, right? The VIX, talked about, incredible. What do we say? The first bounce typically gets sold. I did not see us getting down into the 16, 15 range, but here we are, right? Is the market, again, I do this every video. I'm trying not to. Bear market, you're not seeing a bottom in a VIX, or the bottom in the market with the VIX in 38. Sorry, the volatility is here. It's here to stay. It's going to camp in and watch. You'll see. The VIX, we talked about waking up before. The VIX of the VIX, right? Looks like it. Spy on you. Look at that candle. That is a hammer. Big red tomorrow? I don't know. Red down? I don't know. Could be choppy? I don't know. This is an ominous looking candle, but it is the Monday before OPEX. So keep in mind, if you watch the videos on that, you know it's going to be a little full sloppy choppy. QQQ. Doji. Making new highs. Are we going to new highs? Now remember, we're at the 20-month on the weekly and... Sorry, the 20-month on the SPY and the QQQ. Keep an eye on it. QQQ, another Doge. But again, the leadership is just narrowing, so thin. IWM, look at today's candle. Again, I hope people... There wasn't much to say today, and that's why I'm really important to watch the close. I mean, everything melted. Here you go. Gets over the 20, comes right back. And we talked about bouncing in this area. Hopefully you anticipated it somewhat. There you go. Dia, melt. A little melty. Gets up towards range highs. Look at this candle. That could be a trap, y'all. Just keeping that in mind. Gold, again, everyone thinks gold's going to the moon. Doesn't, again, watch these levels. Again, I personally want to buy gold on a major pullback during the second quarter, which we're in, and before the Feds pivot, which they're not pivoting now. So if they're not pivoting, I feel like gold's going to pull back. I could be wrong. Either way, you could always buy it later. The easy money trade is over, in my opinion. But know your levels. If you want to buy the 183s and anticipate, I just think there's better risk reward in shorting tech than buying gold. Because gold could rally 10%, but some of these tech names could drop 20, 30, 40, 50, 60%. That's where I'm like, it's kind of you got to weigh it. Silver, lagging. Look at today's candle. I mean, opens high, closes low, big red. Doesn't look bullish. GDX, we've talked about the miners leading lower. Cannot get over the 20-day, stuck in the 33s. Something, I mean, I don't need to tell you this every video, but something doesn't look right. But every day, it chops around. It just gets people super confused and frustrated, which, again, that's the nature of the beast, y'all. So at this point, just be careful. GDXJ, what have we said, right? What have we said? Look at this thing. It can't get over the 20-day. Junior miners are leading down. They look like they're leading down. I mean, do we need to argue it? When you look at it, does it look bullish? I mean, to me, it looks like 20 days under. Once you get under the 20-day, it's been a problem. All right. AG, talked about it lagging, right? Look at this thing. For months, it feels like lagging. Pops up, and now it's just chopping around, right? Keep that in mind. AEM, talked about this being one of the stronger ones, right? Well, I mean, look at it now. It goes up towards the range highs, right? Gets up here. Long doji on Friday said that was a little curious. Look what happens today. Opens high, closes low at the 20-day. Or below at the 20-day. Sorry. Get below the 20-day. I'm telling you, it doesn't look that good. Newmont, we've talked about this one. Lagging for what seems like forever. Right? That is a problem, y'all. It couldn't even get over the January highs, which other miners were. It makes lower highs in April. And now look where you're at. This doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. That's all I got to say. PAAS. We talked about this one getting potentially up to like 18, 19 range. Look at today's action. Pops up, flops. Tech. Here you go. Pop. We talked about AMD potentially chopping around here, holding the mid 80s. Congratulations if you took this trade. Look what it hit today. 20-day. Doink. Rejection. Micron. Look at this, down $2 today. Bounces, pops. I'm telling you, stuff doesn't look good. Taiwan Semi. Gaps up, chops. I mean, this thing has been dogging hard, right? NVIDIA. Now, here NVIDIA is doing its own thing. Keep in mind, backtesting trend, and it's at, if you check the weekly, it's at a major fibby. Now, again, we don't know how to pick tops with 100% certainty. We know there's repeating patterns, right? Well, just keep an eye on this. I know this is a big green candle. So is today the top? I don't know. I mean, I personally didn't take any trades on NVIDIA today. I really wanted to. But tomorrow is probably the day. Wednesday might be a better day. Just keep that in mind. I think it's close. Could it get to 300? These all have to be in the back of your minds. The only thing I added today was JP Morgan Chase short. Intel, another laggard, right? Look at that. Pop up on earnings, giving it all right back. Things that don't look that bullish, right? Said watch the SMH around 249, 250. This box, maybe it's a 20-day. Can you get over it? I don't know. Adobes. Pops up. Chops around. I mean, again, all these names just choppy, 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 choppy. I don't know what to tell you other than I think they're short potentials. Apple playing games. I mean, this is the thing about Apple, and this is why it can be so hard, is that like it usually peaks with bullishness, right? You're not going to see Apple all of a sudden like fold over on some bad news unless it professionally gaps down. But at this point, man, how frustrating. If hopefully you give yourself time. Hopefully you give yourself unlimited amounts of time, because if you don't, again, define your risk, but you could be wrong. Like, that's the hardest thing here. It's so hard to anticipate Apple continue climbing in a bear market, but that's the thing. Some things do better than others. Amazon, look at this. Pops up for earnings. Blah. Whoever shorted this, high five to you. CRM, again, the breath is just so bad. Chopping, nothing. Google, down today, nothing. Chopping, nothing. Meta, they had their earnings, which I thought was crap, and it's just chopping around. Does it need to get a little higher? I don't know. Microsoft, bounce, gaps up on earnings. Again, their earnings were not that good. It's just you got some gaps above. Do we fill it? It's always possible. NDAQ, talked about this being a piece of junk. Piece of junk. Piece of junk. Yeah, there it is. It's just be patient. MSTR, MicroStrategy. Earnings after hours. Looks like it's in the upper, like in this, it seems pretty flat actually. Talk about Bitcoin, whatever it's going to do. I mean, the close on this is probably not good, and this thing will probably flop around after hours, but I'd be curious. If Bitcoin continues to like liquidate, it ain't going to hold up. Netflix, we talked about this chopping. I mean, nothing, no leadership, just nothing. Roblox, another laggard, right? Pops, and then gaps down. They're taking off their monthly guidance that they're going to do, and then it's just Tesla. I mean, Tesla is strong, right? Talked about it's due for a bounce, but I mean, it's got nothing. Some people are going to argue, oh, it's up big. It's like, man, it just went from 208 down to 153. And all it's going to pop is 10, 15 points. That doesn't really seem that strong. That's just me. Material names, again, seem to be lagging. X flat, down. I mean, we talked about new lows, not good. Nucor bounced on earnings that I thought weren't that great. Chopping around. Caterpillar popped on earnings. Hits the 20-day. Doesn't really look that good, y'all. I'm telling you, VALE. I mean, I see people pumping VALE constantly, and it looks like crap. I'm sorry. It just doesn't look good. Shouldn't be down there. Arrow. This is the only one that, to me, that's been holding up the best. Can it break out? I don't know. You got another wick up there. Keep that in mind. CCJ. Acting better. Got to give uranium props with the crops, right? I'm curious to see how it does when it gets in the 29 range. CF, they have earnings probably as we speak. They probably won't release until later because they're Canadian, I think, right now. I thought they were Canadian. We'll see. Either way, it's not moving after hours. It is chopping. Again, we like all these names. Mosaic, I can just rash through these. I'm not seeing anything that says time to buy them. But again, they're due to bounce potentially, but I think they're going to be choppy. NTR, same thing, just chopping. Chop, 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 chop. And nobody likes to hear the chop word. It's like a forbidden word, but that's the reality. I think you're just going to see a lot of chop. AA, same thing. Love it down here in the mid-30s. I think you're going to see some chop. Financials, again, buy the rumor, sell the news. We always knew first whatever Republic Bank was junk, that something was going to have to happen. I mean, JP Morgan got the last good deal I think is possible, because right now, the debt that was bad, the FDIC is basically going to be tapped out of that kind of like absorbing that. So they're going to have to do something at some point. Good luck. I don't know how they're going to get all that accomplished. We talked about the XLF 3350 to 3250. Nice pop up. JP Morgan shorted it today. 142.50. A little bit waiting. I like the candle. We talked about novice gap, trap, retest. Anything up by this 143 plus area even gets juicier. If we get there again, we'll see. Morgan Stanley again. That's why you don't chase gifts. Pop and flop. I mean, they all look very similar. Goldman. I mean, I'm yeah, we said, who got the 100-day? Got the 100-day. I don't usually talk about the regional banks, but I mean, I was watching like PNC today. It's like, uh-oh, that doesn't look good. We have the KRE. What, is it KRE or KB? Yeah. Here are your regional banks. I mean, they don't have any lift. Banks lead the market. If banks ain't working, market ain't going to be working at some point. That's all. XBI, look at that. Retest. You talk about retest. Well, here you go. Watch what happens now here. This is probably the better short than the first one. Remember, it's always hard to short the first top and expect to just get a complete meltdown, because if something rises, it's going to find buyers at some point, right? There it is. Like, that's what the thing you have to be careful of. TAN, solar, talk about solar. Got some folks on StockTwits telling me I'm crazy for telling them to get out of solar. I'm like, dude, if oil and gas gets smoked, the economy, countries starting to pull in back subsidies. Oil, again, I mean, as much as everyone wants to go green, again, it's those companies' earnings are only going to go because they're all built on government subsidies. Just keep an eye on it. ENPH, talked about this. Not surprised, a gap down and poop. Sedgerton, man, same thing. Breaking trend lines. Here we go. First Solar. Wanted it to pop on earnings, got no pop. But chopping around, I mean, if it does lift, I would say maybe 196, but starting to look like 185 plus might be the resistance, right? And people don't remember, like, this thing can drop hundreds of dollars or $100 in a month. Did in previous bear markets. HYG, this is not what you want to see. Corporate debt being sold. If it takes out range lows, again, be careful. Let's end it with oil and gas, because, again, oil today had no love. No love. Chopping around. You would think it would be holding up. Not so much. UNG, again, lay off this stuff. Just please, for the love of God. For the love of God. That ETF is crap. XOP, warn folks. Take profits up here. Bounce. Again, all this stuff to me seems very suspect. ExxonMobil, this says everything you need to see. Here's its earnings. Here's the reaction. Professional gap. Spaghetti-O. PXD. Talked about getting bought out by ExxonMobil potentially, but if ExxonMobil's going down, PXD would go down. Occidental, we said this is lagging. Look what it's doing. It's lagging. Sorry, I'm just trying not to. You got to be evidence-based. So the breath is this bad. Something's like, again, people are funneling into a few names trying to find safety, and they don't realize that the Apples, the Nvidias, they are literally the ATM of the market. That's where everyone, liquidates. That's where all the big money hides out. Well, at some point, guess what? It's going to need to happen. Those names are going to get liquidated. There's going to be no support because everyone went all in. Sorry, I'm on EQT, but watching chopping. But that's what's just going to happen. Flex LNG, again, this looks good. Like these names in time, give me some pullbacks. So hopefully people understand that. Like, that's literally, the mega tech is right now it's the bank account of the stock market. When it's going to be time to liquidate, these names are going to have no support because everybody has gone all in. I don't understand how people get confused by that and they think there's like unlimited upside in these names. And no, when the crap hits the fan, the reason why people are selling other stuff, the people why are going for safety, when that unwinds, you're going to see absolute mayhem. And when I say mayhem, think of like whatever that was, it State Farm commercial, or mayhem, like that guy. Like, that's what's going to happen within the markets and within tech. And that once that cycle begins again, it's amazing people forgot how all of a sudden like Nvidia goes from 380 down to like whatever, $110. Like, these names will get liquidated because that's what happens in bear markets. At the bottom, no one's going to want to buy. I hate to say this over and over, and I say, I wish I knew tomorrow. I wish it was next week. I wish I could tell you that. But if you're trying to pretend in your mind that you can always time things with impunity, you're gonna realize it's wrong. Like, you have to have in your mind, like, time is the hardest part always with this, and ultimately time is going to be the thing that you have to be careful of. Whether you're going long or short, there's only, again, in it's a trader's market. It's a bear market. It's a trader's market, okay? So when that ends, you'll know, because everyone will give up on stocks, but along the way, it's going to be choppy and sloppy. That's just how it falls. Oh, my God. Jeez. Wow. Sorry, I'm just looking at one of these insurance companies after hours, down 23%. Yeah, things aren't good. The economy isn't there. I mean, the feds are going to have to pivot at some point, but guess what? They want to kill inflation. To kill inflation, you're going to have to kill the economy. Unemployment's have to go. Again, for anyone to think that the market's bottoming 6 to 9 months before the recession even started, I don't think so. People don't realize, like, I don't think this is going to be a soft recession. And again, thinking about it, we've said this 1,000 times. Name the time when the Feds navigated a soft landing. They don't and haven't, so I don't think they're going to do it again. All right. Talk to you guys and gals. Hit me up in the Discord room if you have need anything. Also, check out thetradingagent.com. Sign up for the newsletter. Talk to you guys soon. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.